Hey, today I want to take a couple minutes and talk about a controversial subject, and that is psychotropic medication, or things like antidepressants, anti-anxiety pills, and so on. I see a lot of my clients struggle with whether or not to take medication like that. And when I say struggle, it seems to be like a struggle of character. Like people think, I'm weak or I'll be judged if I try these meds, and they also are frightened of them because they can have such intense side effects, and they worry about being addicted to these drugs and having to be on them for the rest of their lives. And all of these concerns are very well founded. And I want to go on the record as saying I'm not someone who is indiscriminately pushing drugs or in support of drugs for treating mental health conditions. And I also want to go on the record as saying that I believe, at least in the beginning, that drugs to treat mental health conditions should never be taken without additional talk therapy concurrently. So in other words, this kind of business of just going to a doctor and they just write a prescription for whatever, and somebody takes it with no supervision, that's not good. I think that should actually be illegal, in my opinion. But I do also think that this kind of torment that people experience when considering the idea of taking drugs needs to be lessened. I think we're altogether being too hard on ourselves about the idea of needing something besides exercise, healthy diet, talk therapy, good sleep hygiene. We need all those things. But sometimes we need something more, right? And then it is not a weakness. It's not a weakness to need something more than just those things that I described. In fact, it takes a certain humility and strength of character to admit that you need something extra. It does. So part of the problem that I see also for people who decide finally to try out drugs to help their mental health is that it oftentimes is a real hit or miss situation. The science behind the drugs still has a lot of development that needs yet to happen. And so a lot of times you'll just try one and it works or it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, try another one. If that doesn't work, try another one, maybe add something else, maybe change the dose. And it can be a really long, difficult, and arduous process, which is another reason I think people really need the support of a talk therapist while they undergo that process. So you can not only report the experiences that you're having or not having on a given drug, you can voice your frustrations about if they're not working. So if you're debating whether or not, if you've tried talk therapy and you're within reason, you've tried proper nutrition, proper sleep hygiene, moving your body, being in nature, and all of those sorts of things, and you still feel like I can barely get through a day, or my anxiety is so overwhelming, I almost cannot function. If that is happening for you, please feel that it's okay for you to explore the option of a drug intervention for your mental health. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. And I think, as I said, in a certain perspective, it shows a strength of character and a willingness to do whatever it takes to feel better. It is not a weakness. And if you do decide to explore a drug intervention, please also make sure to do it with the help of a professional, a mental health professional, not just like your PCP or your primary care physician or whatever, because that can make all the difference in finding the right thing, the optimal thing that will help you as an individual. And lastly, before I go, I want to mention too, a relatively new thing in the field of mental health drugs is genetic testing. So genetic testing helps give, in some cases, a better idea of what might work with your individual physiology. And it's not a fail-safe measure, but I think it has value. And unless you have some other ethical qualms with it, which you very well could, I would recommend availing myself of that, or availing yourself of that as well. So that's all for today. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.